Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders John Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films.
Good morning, babe.
Good morning, babe. How you doing?
Good.
I've never worn these glasses before.
They're a lot.
They are glasses.
They are.
Yes.
I feel like
Wah, wah. Like crocodile. Right? Are they Elton-y?
I feel like they're upside down.
No, they're
Like
not.
they're bigger on the top than they
But
are
they're
on the bottom.
not. Look,
No,
see the little things.
I know, but like try them on upside down, and I feel like it's a better shape. See, that's the same.
That's because it's the same shape all the way around, babe. If they were square and you flipped them upside down, they would still be square.
They just didn't look like the same shape. They looked like they were bigger on the top.
I think they're girls.
Sure. Here, let me try them.
Yeah, I think they're girls' glasses. I think maybe.
I like that they're like sparkly blue. They look like blue jeans.
Okay, let's say. Yes! See? Yes, that is so much cuter. Okay, you're going to wear them for the show?
I don't know about that.
You should wear them for the show. They're
a lot.
No, they're awesome. They're awesome. Hey, we're kind of dressed alike.
I have just totally accepted that I love blue jean material.
Okay.
I came across someone talking about the boom crash that's coming.
We're very familiar with all of the booms and all the crashes, all the bubbles and all the pops.
Private equity firms coming in, buying up businesses that aren't doing poorly.
Okay, so is this like Bobby Axelrod?
Yeah.
It's like Billions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he buys the drink company.
Yeah, and then runs it in the ground and like sabotages it.
Yeah, exactly.
But something happens, I don't know, where they take loans out on this stuff and then they just default on it or something, and I don't know how this works exactly, but even this guy was explaining, even the company that you're buying, like let's say you're buying Hooters, and I think somebody did.
Somebody bought Hooters?
I think so, and it's like failing.
How do you fail at Hooters?
I don't know.
I mean, you have chicken wings
but
and
see,
you have...
that's the point, is to like buy these things and auction them off. And this reminds me of that money one, Greed is Good, too.
Wall Street.
Yes. Yeah. And this reminds me of Pretty Woman, too.
Oh, yeah. It's all
That's
the
what
same.
he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But evidently there's something happening where it's like they bought Joanne fabric and now Joanne is gone. And everybody's like really sad about it because like you can't buy fabric anymore.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere and buy fabric except for like Walmart.
That was one of those things where I was like, is there really that much fabric being sold? I mean, how in the world is this place staying in business?
Well, yeah,
You know?
I mean, it's definitely, but like if you need craft supplies or you're like, I'm going to make some curtains, where are you going to go? I don't know. So anyway, these private equity firms and like we heard recently someone that we know was like, well, now that the business has been bought by this private equity firm, they really don't care, you know, for anything other than just the profit of the thing. They don't care about the actual success of the thing.
Right. And it's also the idea of by buying the business, you're also buying its pension plan, and all of that money. You know, like I remember in Wall Street, the whole thing was, you know, you do the minimum payout, and then there was like it was overfunded, and there was like another, you know, $200 million in there that he was going to collect from when they were going to buy the airline.
Right. But that's what they're doing. And that's what is going to happen is these people who've been, you know, paying into Social Security, paying into their 401ks. Like the problem is they're saying 401ks are going to be dead because of this.
The thing is that...
And they already suffered from the housing crash.
The thing is that we just don't understand what is going on.
No, I don't understand. And I'm just like listening to this guy.
What is blockchain? What is cryptocurrency? What is private equity? It's like a world and a language that has so much control of us that we completely have no interpretation of.
I have some friends who are basically in a Ponzi scheme. And you know, you can tell people, hey, this is a pyramid scheme. This is a Ponzi scheme.
Right.
they really don't care because they
I'm
still
wondering-
think they're going to make some money. We were sitting around with our niece. You love cruising around on Pluto.
Yes.
She was just hanging out with us, and you ran across like a whole bunch of like music video channels.
If you go down into Pluto, you can find some crazy shit. The house was covered in dishes. So we were all washing the dishes and drying them, and it was all together, and it was like that scene from The Big Chill where everybody's in the kitchen working together.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
That's a good scene.
So she was like, whoa, I've never seen this music video. And
Right.
we were like, well, have you seen this one? Have you seen that one? And she hadn't. And like, this is the thing that you forget
Right.
about people who are like, especially people under 30.
There's a whole Instagram thread and TikToks, and there are all of these videos of young people from this generation listening to the Beatles, or they'll listen, and it'll be like their eyes will like light up, and it'll be like, holy shit, this is a banger. It's like, yeah, Blackbird is a banger. You're right. We kind of had that experience with our niece because we played like Chris Isaac, Wicked Game.
Well, we did Vogue.
Yeah, Vogue. Yeah, which is one of the greatest music videos
You did
of all time.
the Nine Inch Nails song Closer.
Music videos used to be a pipeline for film directors. Spike Jonze was a big music video director.
Actually, it was a trap that your brother told her to set. You can't help but talk about
What?
Manhunter.
Manhunter!
Your brother was like, just bring Manhunter.
Manhunter!
Bring Manhunter up to your
Manhunter
uncle
so much.
and see how that goes. So you actually found it. It was on like Tubi or Pluto or something, and we watched it. And because I have aged and warmed up to Michael Mann.
Yes.
I enjoyed myself, and it was so cool because really, whenever we're with the serial killer,
Yes.
I really like all that stuff. Like,
all that, like his house and the vibe and his
Like that's where I want to be.
Tom Noonan.
Yeah,
You want to be in Tom Noonan's place.
Well, you remember when you were in that like printer in New York City, and you walked in, and Tom Noonan was picking up headshots?
Yes.
What'd you say to him?
I said, hey, Tom Noonan. Awesome. I love you, man. And everyone else in the room didn't know who he was.
Oh my God.
And
idiots.
he was like, thank you very much. He was like,
Oh
he was like Tom Noonan. He was like, he talks down here like this.
Why didn't you ask him if he would sign one of his headshots and give it to you?
Because I'm not that guy. I don't do that. I don't take pictures with celebrities.
So we were like, well, what other kind of like fun
kind of
era movie?
Yeah, 80s, 90s. Yeah.
And it was just happened to be on, and we picked Point Break.
Point Break. She had never seen Point Break. And it's really interesting because when a person who has never seen a movie watches it for the first time, especially from this generation, they really gear in on things that you really didn't know. Like,
well, they have history.
We really didn't notice the fact that Keanu was not a good actor in that movie.
No, you noticed. We all were just like scratching our heads a lot of the times when Keanu was in stuff. It was like, okay, he was good in like My Own Private Idaho, and then what happened?
Right.
And the thing about Point Break is it plays into his kind of
his Keanu Reeves. Yeah, he's a Johnny Utah.
Yeah, but
best
like,
name ever.
You go into
Ohio State quarterback.
You start getting into movies like Speed, and you start getting into better movies.
I watched Speed recently, and I remembered that I was not a fan of Keanu in it. And then I rewatched it, and I was like, no, he's really actually good in this.
Yeah, he's getting good.
Yeah.
He's getting good. And now he's legit.
I think he's really legit now. And
a good guy.
Well, extremely good guy. Yeah. One of the best guys. Yes.
And he's like dating a woman his own age.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. God bless that guy.
Keanu got it figured out.
She was like, oh, I thought this was like a rom-com or something.
Yeah, she
was like, I wasn't expecting it to be this violent.
The thing about Point Break is it's like these two movies that have been sandwiched together.
This little romance.
This little like fun little surf romance. Almost like
and
a John Hughes
hardcore
kind of
crime.
Hardcore, bloody, violent.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers blowing his own foot off.
Absolutely.
Like so funny.
Anthony Kiedis. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they go, no! Yeah, he makes that face he makes in the videos. Catherine Bigelow, baby.
Yeah.
All hail Catherine Bigelow. All hail.
She's such a great action director.
Such a great director. She should be up there in the pantheon. Catherine Bigelow, I mean, she probably doesn't have as broad a career, but
she's a woman. She probably hasn't had as much opportunity.
Exactly. But it's banger after banger after banger.
Yeah.
Near Dark, Strange Days, Hurt
I
Locker.
love Strange Days.
Absolutely.
On TikTok, it was going around the kiss with is it Angela Bassett?
Yes,
and
Angela Bassett.
Ralph Fiennes.
Oh man, they're sexy together in that movie.
Yeah, but that kiss was going around and women were like, why can't somebody walk up and kiss me like this? Yeah.
Oh wow, that's great. Yeah, Strange Days is awesome.
Something that's going around on TikTok right now for me is in my algo is Live to Tell by Madonna. And like it's made me want to hear this song a lot. But then I was like, it's been ages since I saw At Close Range.
At Close Range.
And it's such a good movie.
That was one of those movies that you and I both saw separately.
Yeah.
And then when we came together, we talked about it, and we both have a deep love for At Close Range.
Yeah, we do.
And then I was like, I met your father, and I was like, your dad is At Close Range.
Yeah, you thought my dad was
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
He has that vibe.
Well, we had like a very specific time that Isabella had to be back to the airport. I wanted to take them to some of the great thrift stores in Paterson, New Jersey.
Right.
It's like a mecca of thrifting.
Paterson, New Jersey looks like a bomb crater, but with thrift stores.
Really good thrift stores. I don't know what makes them better there. Maybe they're sourcing it from New York City or something.
I don't know. But, if you want to visit
the people who live in
1980s Beirut and then buy some, cheap T-shirts, Paterson is where you should go.
The people who live in Paterson couldn't have bought and owned the clothing that's currently being sold in thrift stores. It's coming from somewhere else.
Right.
But they had a great time. Isabella found a lot of cool pieces.
I found this shirt, and I don't think that it was on this thrift store, but yeah, it's like Thailand.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that, but
are you liking it better now?
Yeah, I mean, it's the texture of it's really cool.
I know that's what's really cool.
You love texture shirts.
I do. I like a shirt that goes beyond just a flat. I like a more.
And it looks
3D.
like you went to Thailand and you didn't have to go to Thailand.
Yes, exactly. Sam Rockwell had his big Thailand monologue on White Lotus.
Wow. Walter Scoggins. It was so funny. He's just sitting there.
He's become a meme. He's become a meme where it's just like the reaction that you give when you don't want to give a reaction. Oh, lady boys. Oh, railed you. Oh, okay.
Oh, you wanted to be an Asian woman. Oh.
It was fantastic.
It should be a meme. Yeah, I would love to actually make a meme for myself and just send it to people of like.
This is me reacting to today. Okay.
On the way home from the airport, we passed by like the only Krispy Kreme that's around.
Okay.
I don't know if you planned this or if it was an accident. He was handing my favorite. My favorite Krispy Kreme is the chocolate glazed cream filled.
Right.
Not Boston cream,
not Boston
and
cream
or
bullshit. Custard.
It's that
it's cream. It is supposed to be cream.
Like your blood sugar shoots out the top of your head.
Pure heroin.
You should really
donuts.
only have one
Black
a year.
Tar heroin. That's what these things are.
Yeah. So we had two cream filled.
So there was a bag of 3 donuts. There were 3 donuts.
This little guy like hands you the bag.
Hands me the bag into the window.
He lets go before you really
he
have it.
He lets go and it falls to the ground.
So the bag of donut
has fallen to the ground in between the car and the window.
He just looks at you and says, "Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I'll get you some more.
I'll get you some more." So while he is gone,
you start scrambling to get that off the ground.
Of course I do. Of course I'm scrambling to get that off the ground.
You're picking up ground donuts.
No, I'm not picking it. They're not on the ground. They're in the bag.
They are in the bag.
If they had fallen out of the bag and they were like
You'd
sitting
still eat
in
'em.
the mud, I
You'd
would
still-
not have gotten
yes, you
them.
would.
So I'm reaching, I'm like going down.
And then
like,
right as you get him, he comes
I
back.
pull up.
You
and
pull
then
him up and throw him at me.
No, and I was like, and the guy sees it and he kind of gives me a look like,
you just,
you motherfucker.
You're cheating my company, sir.
And it was not like on purpose, but that look that he gave me, like,
No, he's probably
son
like,
of a bitch.
they're eating ground donuts. I feel like some places, like Wendy's, wouldn't give a shit.
That's true.
Wendy's would be like, pick it up, bitch. You were like, Tracy, why don't we try those AI editing things to edit the social media for the podcast?
Yeah, just to see how it would work. Like, could it save us some time,
Me. Save you.
Well,
Save me.
Look.
Well, I tried Opus Clip.
And that assistant, how did they do?
F.
Oh, F?
Well,
really?
here's the thing. Look, if you can't edit any other way, and you won't pay anyone to do it who can,
right?
You can get some really basic bitch stuff. If you have a good podcast, like if you really have a concise, tight podcast.
I'm hoping someday that we have one of those.
Me too. The thing is, it just took a 60-second cookie cutter.
Right.
It didn't condense the story. Like, I'll take a story that takes 5 minutes to tell and I'll condense it to 60 seconds so you get the whole gist.
Right.
It doesn't do stuff like that. It just takes exactly 60 seconds, wherever that lands. There's really no rhyme or reason.
I think AI could be my friend, though, because it might allow some of my weird tangents
to get in where I cut them.
Yeah, before you cut them.
Nobody wants that.
They do want that. People want that.
Does Grizz need to go out?
Give the public what it asked for. I don't know, maybe.
Literally no one has asked for that.
Well, I think they're asking for it. We just don't know they're asking for it.
I was here working on your script.
Yes.
That you've been writing.
Right.
And we've gone around and around and around about the ending. We're still not quite figured out. We're getting more and more figured out.
Well, you were very, very helpful because I kept changing the ending.
Okay, tell what I said when you said, hey, you came home like last week and you were like, hey, did you read my ending, my new ending?
Okay, Tracy has had an issue with the ending of my script, and she has kept giving me advice and kept telling me things to do.
And then you rewrite it, and I give
rewrite
you more
it,
advice.
and then she does. And I think we're on probably the 6th time.
It's a lot. It's a lot of times
that I've worked on this ending, and I did everything that she suggested. I was really happy with it. I thought, okay, I think we got it. I nailed it. This is it. And I said, hey, babe, what'd you think of the ending? And she goes, it's bad. I was like, okay. And,
it's bad.
And I started to get a little like, I was like, well, you could help me with it.
No.
And then and then maybe, we could get past, all these rewrites. And she goes, no, it's not bad because what you wrote is bad. It needs more to it. It needs another element later after what you've written. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she came up with a great ending, but then I came back to maybe just don't start with it's bad then.
But I think that's just how I operate. If you're cooking something and you taste it and you're like, wow, that does not taste good, then that is your motivation to start making it taste better.
Right. But what you're saying is that it needs something else. You're not saying what exists is bad at tasting.
I'm the kind of person
it needs to be thrown out.
I tasted the thing and I say, this is shit. There is shit in my mouth right now and I hate it. And then I'm motivated to do something about it. And we had,
and then you're like Ratatouille. You put just like a little bit of this, and the color changes.
Salt Bay. Well, we even had a fight about this where I was like, dude, because you were like, can you please just not have so much like disdain when you
Yes.
say a thing?
Disdain.
And I'm like,
no, I can't.
I don't know.
I really can't.
I don't know if I can commit to that.
I really can't. I cannot commit to not being grossed out and disgusted and horrified by what you say and do.
I mean, like, if I gave you my full, and we should try that sometime.
No, we really shouldn't.
You've seen it.
We really shouldn't.
And our friends have probably, if you know me, you have seen this happen.
Right.
Where I just go off.
Yes, I have seen that.
It's like manic. A manic
episode.
episode.
It can be very funny if it's about other people.
Yeah.
I really love mean Tracy when she's talking shit about other people.
I was in a conversation with AI.
Mm-hmm.
And in the way that AI is a bouncing board,
mm-hmm.
which is like where I'm really enjoying. And I have been learning from AI. Actually, I've been using it as a tool for education. Because if you ask it like, hey, can you do this? It's like, yeah, I can. I'm like, can you teach me how to do it?
Right.
And I've learned lots of cool little things.
So how does it work in terms of with a script? Is it like talking about the character? Is it talking about the scene?
I'll be like, okay, I give it the PDF of the script, right? And then I'm like, okay, what do you think, we're going for here or whatever? What are the major themes? We just kind of start to say, okay. And then like, well, what films is it comparable to?
Right.
And then I'll be like, well, in this scene, I'm really going for something more like The Fog.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm trying for.
Right.
But I'm like, not there yet.
And then you were like,
what am I missing?
Let's put fog in the scene.
No.
Well, that's what you did at the beginning.
At the beginning, I did put some fog in there. You did put fog. We were in the woods, and I just thought it would look cooler if it had some fog.
I agree. Yeah, I think, yeah.
But I don't mean fog. I mean The Fog, the movie.
Right.
Actually, I was like, I want this to have a little bit more comedy and a little more camaraderie between these characters because they're assumably a team that traveled together as archaeologists.
Right.
And I want a familiarity there. And so it had actually much later written a line that I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ooh, that's a good line. But how do I get it in?
Right.
In where it should go.
Right.
Because like if you have AI write a script, it wrote a script in 20 pages. Like it's not a movie.
Right. It's not good. Yeah.
No. It's and then it always starts to shit the bed. Like the longer you talk to AI, it starts shitting the bed more.
Interesting.
And I've never had much success at saying like, okay, let's reset the conversation to like 20 inputs ago.
Right.
I just have to start a new chat. I really enjoy it as a sounding board, especially if I'm just here alone, and writing.
Right.
Because like we would normally be doing that together.
Right.
And bouncing things.
Yeah, we would be. Well, this particular script is has been different because this is kind of, this is my baby. It's an idea that I've had for a very, very long time. And I've been mostly writing it on my own. I mean, I think we've talked a little bit about
where it's going.
Maybe this could happen or what have you.
Well, AI, one of the characters that dies, AI did not kill. And I was like, can you write something that involves killing someone? Mm-hmm. And it was like, sure. I'm like, great. I'm like, then why did you choose not to kill that character?
Uh-huh.
And they were like, well, it seemed like it could be a device to do this or that. And I'm like, yes, but I want this other character to take that place.
Interesting.
And it was like, oh, I get it. And this particular AI that I'm using is like really acknowledging. And it's weird because it'll like compliment you. It'll be like, oh, wow, that's a great idea.
See, this is the end of the world right here, folks.
And I'm like, no, it's actually not a great idea.
That gives me affirmation. Oh my God.
It does.
I no longer need people.
It's been trained in some way, this particular one, to like give affirmation or acknowledgement and then give the critique.
Okay.
I mean, which people do.
Well, that's the way. Yeah. I mean,
it's except me, because I just say it's bad.
Yeah. It's awful, and you suck, and please leave the room. I'm excited by this because this is kind of the phase where you kind of look at it and start to shape it.
I'm born this way. I edit things. I'm
Absolutely.
just born this way.
Yeah. I said to somebody yesterday, it's like, I've thrown a whole bunch of Legos in the middle of the room, and then you can build those Legos any way that you want to.
Right.
You know, I mean, it doesn't matter what color goes where, you know,
Right.
The elements are there.
Right. Right.
You know, and I think that that's the, that's your job, especially in a first draft.
Yeah.
Or a 7th draft of the ending.
Well, the whole, yeah, sorry. You know,
that ending is going to be awesome now.
but I just kept not liking, like, I mean, there were 7 decent ideas, and maybe some people would be happy with one of those.
Right.
It just, the whole vibe of what the script was trying to create just wasn't happening at the end, and I wasn't sure how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then when it finally dawned on me, it's because that's not the real ending.
It's not the ending.
That's not the ending. That's why it doesn't work.
It's like that feeling in, We Love and Poltergeist, where you think it's the ending, but it's not the ending.
Okay, so they get away from that monster at the end, and the kids are saved, and the mom saved them.
Yeah.
Then they're packing.
Yeah, then they're packing, then they're leaving. And it's just like, okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
They're packing, they're leaving.
It's very much that way.
And then the real shit goes down.
Yes. And that was the problem. We always thought your ending was the actual ending of the movie, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it took maybe 7 times for me to finally realize, because this is the pre-ending.
This is the pre-ending. Yes. Yeah. And I like it a lot better now because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like a movie that has that sort of quality of, especially in a horror movie, that it just goes really dark and really bleak at the end, and it's just like, oh crap, the ending of
The Mist.
Well, the ending of The Mist, the ending of The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which has this great melancholy quality of these 2 men, and they're at the fire, and they're not sure if one of them is a monster.
Right.
And they're going to freeze to death.
Yeah.
and Kurt Russell goes, well, let's just sit here and see what happens. And that's the ending of the movie. And it's fantastic.
It's amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And there's so many amazing movies with so many amazing endings. Like, I really want to try, before I show something out to people, I really want to try to get it to the point where I've maximized everything I could imagine that's a good idea.
See, I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think, to me, the more that you try to perfect something before you're going to show it to other people,
I mean, it's a valid point.
The more difficult it's going to be for you to deal with the inevitable changes. I think that your dog has to be shaggy, and then you groom it. And the grooming process takes place when you've got a producer, and when you've got
start getting coverage.
Yeah, you start getting coverage, you start getting feedback. And
I agree. But
because what if you have a groomed dog? Okay. And then
they're like, well, we don't like this.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have enough to actually do any different grooming.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a valid point. I just don't know if I can do that.
Shaggy. He needs to be shaggy, baby.
Keep it the shaggy dog.
The shaggy dog. He's cute. He's
got great
lovable.
bones.
He's got great bones. He's got great energy. He just needs to be trimmed. He just needs to be washed.
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. John and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow.